Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, 10 of Cups, beautiful energy. You are ready for the good stuff in life. I think you know what the good stuff is. I think that you have a vision of your dream life. And I think you know that it's getting very close to manifesting, to coming to fruition, to solidifying and crystallizing before you. Okay. This is a feeling of fullness. This is a feeling of sort of every realm of your life is just filled to capacity. This is being almost overjoyed about life. Okay. So I think you know like what kind of, like, you have a vision. You know, this is like someone who is kind of like they've always had the image of their dream wedding or something, right? Or their dream life or their dream house or whatever it might be. Okay, now let's see how this is crystallizing in your life. Okay, let's see how it's coming about for you. This is really, really, really warm, fun, good, blissful energy. Oh, we got a 9 of Swords. Okay, all right. Hey, that's okay. That's all right. We'll deal with it. There has to be some sort of obstacle, right? There has to be something. It's better that we know what that is than to be blindsided by it, okay? So that's, God. Okay, we'll keep going. We got the Fool. All right, good stuff. We've got the Pisces Power card. That is your superpower, okay? The Moon card rules the sign of Pisces. That is your superpower. We have an Ace of Cups, okay? And we've got the 7 of Cups over here, okay? We've got the Emperor, 4 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and the entire universe, okay? This is all right. We can deal with it. I'm a little bit shocked. Spirit's never been quite that blunt with us before, but that's okay. We'll take it, all right? We'll work through this. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top. Don't forget, Pisces, you are magic. All right. So we're not going to look at that card until the end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments. All right, we can do it together as a group exercise. Let's look around the room, because this is good stuff here. We've got the Fool and the Moon. We've got the Emperor and the Universe. Okay, so I think that there's a situation that we thought was going to be a certain way. I think there was a rude awakening. Okay, and that maybe we're talking here about a business deal. Maybe we're talking here about a relationship or that dream wedding. Maybe this is a romance. Maybe this was a family thing. Maybe this was a creative endeavor. And we were expecting this. It didn't live up to our expectations. We were hurt. This is like when, you buy something out of a catalog and then it shows up and it looks like that. Okay, not at all what we were expecting. That's okay, because we'd rather see something for what it really is than to be either ignorant of it or to be fooled or to be under some sort of illusion, right? And that's the 7 of Cups that we see in the future position. Excuse my coughing here. Still getting over a bit of a chest cold. We'd rather know the truth than be in the 7 of Cups. You'd rather see this for what it really is than to assume that, oh, this is paradise. No, it's not. It's a swamp. Okay? So we don't want to live under a delusion. We don't want to have our rose-colored glasses on. We want the scales to fall from our eyes. If this was something that you wanted so bad, that you see it as a 10 of cups, and then when it gets there, you say, yes, I got my 10 of cups. It might be a situation, and I think this has already happened. I'm not predicting you are going to experience any disappointment. I think this is something that already has happened. I think that you had your expectations set up. You had your hopes really on high. I think something was not what it seemed. Okay? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a business deal, maybe it's the job that you took. We thought it was going to be a 10 of cups. We get there, it's not. Okay? Simple fact. I don't think, again, I'm not predicting anything. This has already happened for you. I'm fairly certain. Okay? The Fool card underneath everything is a sort of mixed blessing, right? Because on the one hand, it kind of makes us feel a little foolish. That it's kind of embarrassing in a way that, oh gosh, like I thought this was going to be the one. I told all my friends, and then of course it's not. And now I've got egg on my face. Now I'm sort of embarrassed, So nobody likes to be the fool. And maybe this was, maybe this was a relationship. Somebody was presenting themselves to be, absolutely perfect, but you kind of got to know them a little bit more, and well, 9 of Swords, right? We feel like we sort of were made a fool of. But there's a mixed blessing here, because now we're sort of free of that person. Now we've seen the light. Thank goodness, right, that I saw them for who they really were. Thank goodness I've seen their true colors, right? Thank goodness that I got that thing in the mail and I can see it. I can see that it's not the quality that I was expecting. So that I'm not delusional, right? And I can send it back. So it's a freedom, right? It is, and I think you're that kind of person, Pisces. I think you would rather know what something really is than to just sort of keep trying to convince ourselves that it's what we wanted. Oh, this is fine. It's perfect. I want it. I like it. It's like it's like you're at a restaurant and you order, a vegetarian meal, and then they bring you like a steak or something, right? And you're vegetarian, you don't eat the meat, but they bring it to you and you're just like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted. I'll eat it. This is perfect. This is wonderful. No, I mean, that's crazy, right? It's better to see it for what it really is and to feel the pain or the hurt of it or the shock, right? And then to deal with it appropriately. To leave the restaurant or to call the server and say, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't order this. I'm vegetarian. I wanted the salad, whatever, Plant-based is what I like to say. That's my wife and I. We're always trying to get a little bit more plant-based, I think for me, it's good for my constitution anyway. But that's what it feels like. So why would you just, maybe this is a romantic relationship, and we thought that this was going to be the one. I was already planning the wedding. And then, of course, we get to know this person and we just, like a bunch of red flags. We realize there's no incompatibility. It's just not at all how they sort of presented themselves in the beginning or whatever. Are we going to continue and just sort of convince ourselves this is perfect, this is perfect, this is perfect? Or are we just going to say, hey, harsh truth here. It is what it is, and at least I know. At least I know what this person's really about. Because I think the alternative then, if we don't do this 9 of Swords thing, we're in that 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is all about seeing something to be a paradise when really it is a swamp. You think you're drinking from the chalice of ecstasy, but really it's a cup full of sand. Or worse. Okay? So now that we recognize this bovine excrement, this Bravo Sierra, we can have the freedom to seek after that which really will fulfill us. We thought this was the one. We thought this was our perfection, our bliss, right? Well, Spirit says that wasn't the one. But now you can go seeking the one, right? Because this is still out there for you. This wasn't it. Better to realize this sooner rather than later. 86, that one. Okay? And go after what really is meaning. This is you really knowing what your heart wants. Not trying to convince ourselves that this is what my heart wants. You know, and it's like I'm trying to be okay with it. I'm trying to accept it in there. It's not it. This is the one, and that one is still out there for you. Maybe this is the perfect job. Maybe this is the perfect person or relationship. Maybe this could be anything. Okay? But the idea here is that it was not at all what it presented itself to be. Maybe this was the job that you thought was going to be just absolutely perfect, but you get there and you don't fit in, you don't like it, it's not, the conditions are terrible, you're not going to do it. Okay, this is, we find something online, we want to buy it, that's exactly what I want, it's perfect. Then we get it, and it's like, it's a lot smaller than we thought, and it's like, it's not the right quality, it kind of falls apart, and we're just like, oh, I love it. No. I mean, sometimes that's appropriate, but not in your case, not right now. This is not something that you should just accept and convince yourself that you loved it, and that you want it, and that you'll keep it. I'll eat it anyway. No, not this one. Okay. And again, I'm not predicting anything. I feel like this has already happened. You're already in that 9 of Swords, 10 of Cups sort of state. I'm just as shocked as you are. I thought this was going to be much different. But it's better that we know. It's better that we could just admit it right off the bat. Cut our losses. Boom. Done. Let's move on. Your power card, the Moon card in the background, I think is sort of, this is all the work that you've done. This is all the suffering. This is all of the spiritual work. This is all of the journey, right? This is a dark, scary forest, right? And then you arrive at, this place, right? I mean, if we think of it, every fairy tale we've ever heard. We're traveling through the dark forest. You arrive at this house and you think, this is perfect. I'm saved. This is beautiful, absolutely wonderful. But then that person's trying to cook you and eat you, right? It's better to realize that sooner rather than later. And there's always the one, just think of like a Hansel and Gretel kind of thing. There's always that one character that just says, hey, what are you guys talking about? This is perfect. They're sitting down, they're eating the food. They say, this is wonderful. I love it here. This is absolutely perfect. Well, then the other person is kind of saying, no, we got to get out of here. This person is no good, right? This isn't where we want to be. But when we've been through that sort of grueling journey, when we've been wandering through the darkness for so long, we want to find the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so we want to believe, that 10 of Cups, we want to believe in it. It makes total sense, right? And so a lot of the time, a lot of us would take this and say, no, this is perfect. This is what I want, because it's we're sort of projecting our desires onto this. And when we've been back here for so long, that even if something is terrible and miserable, we're going to just sort of put a nice veneer on it and say, oh, look at that. I made it. I'm so happy. But it's not really, if you look inside, it's not right, okay? But we've been out here for so long that we want to believe. So the Fool is here to say, yeah, it may be embarrassing that we sort of made a mistake here or whatever. I don't think it was your fault. I think that you were misled in some way, okay? This came as a shock to you, but at least now we have the freedom to continue our journey and pursue what our heart really does want. That's going to bring us over to the path of the serpent, okay? And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. And Well, it helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. So we got Emperor energy now. The Emperor is taking no shorts, no losses, right? Is not going to just say, well, I tried. This is the best I can do. I'll learn to live with this. The Emperor is saying, no. I would rather start over and do it right. Okay? Trying to build the pyramid here. And, you get halfway done with the pyramid, and it's just you realize that, oh gosh, this one's terrible. This one doesn't even look like a pyramid. This one's just crooked. It's bent. It's all sagging. No. And maybe there are people that say, hey, it's good enough, right? It's just your eternal resting place. You could make it work, right? Decorate it nicely. It'll be good. No. Let's start over, right? And I don't know if we're talking about jobs or we're talking about relationships. You could be talking about, even maybe you're shopping for a house. You're shopping for a car. You thought this was the one. Yeah. It wasn't. Well, good. Better to realize that it had a bad foundation or it had some rusted pipes or whatever. Better to see. That's why we do the inspection on the house. That's why you take your car to a mechanic and have them look at it before you buy it. And maybe the mechanic came back and said, this is a piece of junk. This is a lemon. And you said, oh, but I loved it so much. Still a lemon. And now you could just make it work if you wanted to. And you do want it to. You do want it to work, right? But it's sort of the idea of we're going into a situation that it's not a situation where you could afford to buy the fixer-upper. Like, you need a house that's already built, has a roof, isn't leaking, isn't going to cost you $1 million to fix it, make it livable. You want something that's already pretty good, right? And if we're talking about a relationship, you don't go into a relationship saying, oh, this will be a fixer-upper. This could be absolutely perfect. I see a bunch of red flags, but that's okay. We're going to work on them. And they're going to be perfect pretty soon. We can change the other person, right? No. The Emperor is saying, I'd rather be the fool and start over. I'd rather be embarrassed of, what I got myself into, but then be free of that and be able to pursue what it is I really need, what I really want. Okay. And, of course, the Four of Swords in the environment, I think, is really this idea of forgiveness, right? And forgiveness is an important thing. And I don't think that we need to go around becoming best friends with everybody that has wronged us. I don't feel like this card is about you forgiving the person for lying to you or for promising you things and then not delivering or whatever. It's not saying that, okay, I'm going to go ahead, I forgive you for bringing me the wrong meal, I'll go ahead and eat the food that I'm allergic to or whatever, right? No, it's not that, but it's saying, look, I don't hold it against you personally, but at the same time, I'm not going to eat this. Okay? No offense to you. I'm not mad at you. You got your own thing going on, but I cannot accept this thing. Okay? So we're forgiving, and I think, too, we're forgiving ourselves, and we're not going to hold it against ourselves. We're not lamenting. We're feeling the pain of it, but we're not being like, I'm stupid, I'm stupid. No, we're saying, look, it happens. I don't even think it's your fault. So there's nothing to forgive, But this is about you not getting down on yourself for having gotten in that situation. Because, hey, this could have been the best thing you've ever done. This could have been absolutely perfect. Right? You're out there doing things. You're out there taking risks. You're out there pursuing your life, your love, your purpose, your path. You're doing it. And you're going to have to go through a few, maybe mediocre things before you get to that best life. Before you get to that perfection. You're going to have to go through it a few times. Rarely does anybody try something once and succeed absolutely once, a hole in one, right? That's not very common. Many times we have to take a few shots at something before we really succeed. And that's okay. All right, nothing wrong with that. We got the Two of Pentacles next. This is in the position of, when we're over here, it's what we don't want. I don't want to have to throw this away and wait for a new meal to be cooked. I don't want to have to send this back and order a new one. You know how many times that as a kid I would go and like get a toy at the store or something, like with my parents, and I'd get it home and I would open it up. I'd be so excited and it would be broken, right? And it would make me so sad, right? And it's like, well, I'll just play with it as it is, right? It's broken, you know. But then I was like, no, I don't want to play with it as it's broken. And I know maybe this is just, maybe I'm, privileged or whatever that I had, toys as a kid. But then I would, I'd go back to the store, or we would send it back. Or the next time we were at that store, I'd bring it and I'd exchange it and I'd get one that worked, But there's that idea of like having to wait. I don't want to have to go and exchange it and wait for the next time that my mom's going to that store and I can go and exchange the thing. I'm like that even now. I don't like to wait, But at the same time, can I be comfortable keeping something that does not work the way it's supposed to? And even, all the equipment that I have here in the studio. If I get a camera that's like, well, it sort of works, but maybe it doesn't really, it turns itself off or whatever the case is. If it doesn't quite work, if it's defective, in other words, I don't want to have to wait to send it back to get one that's in proper working condition, especially if you pay a lot of money for something, right? It should work the way it's advertised. So I don't want to wait to exchange it, but I also can't use it the way it is. Kind of in a tight spot, right? So there's nothing that we can really do. But when we're on the path of the dove, we don't want to have to exchange the thing and wait. We don't want to give it up and then try to go find another one. We just say, no, this one's fine. I'll make it work. Okay. When we get over here, we realize, no, I got to send it back and I've just got to be patient to wait for the right one to come in. So when we're on the path of the serpent, this is the position of the card we want, the energy that we need. Over here, we don't want it. Over here, we realize, okay, I need it. I need to send it back. I need to change it out and swap it out for one that works. Okay. Over here, we're so caught up in the feelings of it all and the moment that we try to say, can I just be okay with this? Do I have to send it back? Can I tolerate it the way it is? Can I still love it just as much? And we realize that no, we've got to be patient. We've got to wait for the right thing to come along. There's no sense in settling for something that doesn't meet your standards or your requirements. Now, I'm not getting into the idea of our standards and requirements, our expectations of other people, if this is a relationship, if this is an expectation of, let's say service in a restaurant, right? We know that the 10 of Cups is impossible to achieve. Nothing is going to be absolutely 100% perfect. People, places, things, it's not going to happen. Okay? But we have to understand what we're willing to put up with and what we're not willing to put up with. It's sort of that Two of Pentacles thing. What am I going to be okay? I'm just going to keep this. It's fine. How hungry are you? I'm just going to eat what they gave me. Versus, no, I can't eat that. It'll make me sick. So I have to send it back, and I need patience to wait for another meal. We need to have our own version of those standards. Okay? And maybe it's on a case-by-case basis, No hard and fast rules necessarily. But the universe card here at the end is showing that, yes, you will need patience to find the right thing for you, and the right thing is out there. Don't settle for something less than. Okay? Have the will, have the courage to continue your search, and the right thing is out there. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. All right? I don't want to take up too much of your time today. Mystery card, I want some good cups energy, right? I want some good cups. 3, 6, or 9 of cups is what I want. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Well, 3 of Pentacles. Well, that's okay. The 3 of Pentacles, I think, is, in some ways, it's the work that you could do while you wait, It's what could you, maybe this is where I'm just going to have a couple more of these breadsticks while I wait for my meal, you know. But this is a card of cooperation. This is a card of the right team being put together. Yeah. This is the card of sort of the will, the heart, and the mind being aligned. This is a card of teamwork. This is the card of, I think, standards. You know, I think this is the reality that you aspire to. If it's in a real way, it's in a functional way. I know the Ten of Cups is the ideal, bliss, perfection. This is more practical. This is saying, look, I know what I need in a car. I know what I need in a house or in a relationship. I'm not going to put up with anything less because I know that this is a realistic expectation. A realistic expectation. As close to that Ten of Cups as you want to get. 9.999999999. Never a perfect 10. Okay, that's unreasonable, but this is that reasonable expectation. I think this is a really good reading for you, and I think that this is a little hiccup in your life that you're pushing through this already, and you're going to find what's out there for you. What we're going to find is the extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Pisces Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know how you're doing. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.